Hey there, guys, and welcome to another Factorio Friday Facts discussion, number 317, new pathfinding algorithm. And as always, I am joined by Bombug.
Hello, everyone.
So this one, there's a lot. This is a really detailed thing. Some people love that, and I really appreciate the devs put in this much effort. Personally, I can't even begin to compile and comprehend all this in my brain. So we're just gonna we're basically just going to summarize certain parts of it, and there's one sentence at the end of the entire thing that summarizes basically the entire Friday facts. We'll just start. Basically, last week, as you remember, they mentioned to make biters not collide with each other, but that wasn't the only biter related update we released this past week. Somewhat coincidentally, this week's updates have included something I've been working on for a few weeks before, an upgrade to the enemy pathfinding system, which is always good. And then moving down to the actual pathfinding, I'll just read this first part because it's kind of like an introduction to it. So when a unit wants to go somewhere, first needs to figure out how to get there. That could be as simple as going straight to its goal, but there can be obstacles such as cliffs, trees, spawners, player entities, water, and stuff in the way. To do that, it will tell the Pathfinder its current position and the goal position, and the Pathfinder will possibly, after many ticks, reply with a path, which is simply a series of waypoints for the unit to follow in order to get to its destination. To do its job, the Pathfinder uses an algorithm called A-star. A simple example of A-star pathfinding is shown in the GIF below. A biter wants to go around some cliffs. The Pathfinder starts exploring the map around the biter, shown as white dots. First, it tries to go straight towards the goal, but as soon as it reaches a cliff, it spills both ways, trying to find a position from which it can go forward. So pretty straightforward. It kind of just spreads out, and once it finds a way around it, it takes it.
Yeah, this is a pretty traditional pathfinding algorithm that most games use.
Yeah, you said you've even worked with this before, right?
Oh yeah, yeah. A-star pathfinding is like what you're going to encounter first if you're doing any sort of video game development.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
yeah,
a very well researched and really just nice algorithm to use.
for sure.
So, of course, they're going to be working with some extra details here that make it a lot more complicated.
Yeah. And obviously, this is slowed down in the video to show how it works. So, um, each dot in the animation represents a node. Each node remembers its distance from the start of the search and an estimate of the distance from that node toward the goal. The estimate is provided by what's called a heuristic function. Heuristic functions. Hmm?
Yeah, heuristic.
Heuristic? Okay. So it's what make A-star work. It's what steers the algorithm in the correct direction. Simple choice would be just straight line distance from node to the goal. That's what they have been using basically forever. Makes the algorithm initially go straight. It's not the only choice. If the heuristic function knew about some of the obstacles, it could steer the algorithm around them, which would result in faster search since it wouldn't have to explore extra nodes. Obviously, the smarter the heuristic, the more difficult it is to implement. So this video shows how fast the algorithm works in reality. It hasn't been slowed down. So yeah, it's going to go from one side to the other, and it's just slowly expanding out until it finds a path around all these obstacles.
Yeah, and the fact that that's real time, like, think about you shoot your artillery, you anger the biters, and it actually takes them this long to just figure out how to get to
Yeah, exactly. By that point, you could have picked up and gotten the heck out.
you. Yeah, get the heck out of Dodge, man.
Oh yeah. So then on to contracting chunks. Pathfinding is an old problem. So, I mean, a lot of games struggle with that. So there's many techniques for improving it. Some of them fall into the category of hierarchical. Yes.
Yeah,
Pathfinding. Higher. Yeah, I can't talk.
Use it.
Where the map is first simplified, a path is found in the simplified map, and this is then used to help find the real path. Again, there are several techniques for how exactly to do this, but all of them require simplification of the search space. How can they simplify in Factorio? Since the maps are randomly generated and constantly changing, moving, replacing entities is probably the most core mechanic of the game. We don't want to recalculate simplification each time an entity is added or removed, which makes sense. Um, one of our sources, if one of our source access people, it was one of them, uh, Elazin, uh,
Eliza?
Elizin?
Maybe Eliza.
Yeah, who came up with the idea that I ended up implementing. In retrospect, the idea is obvious. So the game's based around 32 by 32 chunks of tiles, which most of us know, I think. I mean, maybe not. You'd have to turn
I
on
didn't
the.
know that.
Okay, yeah. So you'd have to turn on the debug options, but yeah, there's chunks, and then each chunk is 32 by 32 tiles, and like a belt is a tile basically. So
Okay.
that's kind of the size. And the simplification process will replace each chunk with one or more abstract nodes. Since our goal is to improve pathfinding around lakes, we can ignore all entities and consider the tiles only. Water is impassable, land is passable. We split each chunk into separate components. A component is an area of tiles where a unit can go from any tile within the component to any other within the same component. The image below shows a chunk split into two distinct components, red and green. Each of these components will become a single abstract node. Basically, the entire chunk is reduced into 2 points. So yeah, basically it just eliminates everything that doesn't meet those conditions, and you have red and green, um, which is land, obviously, so it can get from any one place in the highlighted area to another one place in the same color highlighted area.
Nice. That's a smart way to do it. Just call all the options you don't want to calculate.
Yeah, exactly. Um, and then there's this huge section. I think this just like goes into really deep detail about like problems they ran into with it and like more specifics of what it does, but I feel like the above thing was like a pretty decent summary.
Yeah, this is just saying that they're taking all the nodes, working with them, and they're also doing it in reverse. So instead of starting from where the bug is, the biter, and going to your base, it starts at your base and goes to the biter.
Okay.
Yeah, so reverse resumable.
Right. Um, so then skipping down, this GIF or video below shows a new pathfinding system in action. Blue circles are the abstract nodes. White dots are the base search. The Pathfinder was slowed down significantly to make this video to show how it works. At normal speed, the entire search takes only a few ticks, which is super fast because there's 60 ticks in a second. So
yeah,
this
and
is
compare
like,
that to the GIF above that took several seconds real time to do the same work.
yeah, I
It's a
mean,
massive improvement.
this takes like maybe like a tenth of a second or less. So notice how the base search, which is still using the same old algorithm we've always used, just knows where to go around the lake as if by magic. As you can see, same path is shown in the GIF above, but it's significantly faster because this is sped up, remember. So really, really good improvement. Um, and then basically, this last sentence summarizes it really well. It means that we are still essentially using the same old Pathfinder we've been using for years now, only with an upgraded heuristical function. That means this change shouldn't affect too many things other than the speed of the search. So one thing to just keep in mind is, like Bombug said, is like, for example, if you fire an artillery or something like that, or maybe bases are in your pollution range, but more importantly, like artillery shots, just keep in mind that it's going to take the biters significantly less time to find their way to you than they used to.
Yeah, and with their improved attack patterns from the last patch notes, you're gonna be getting hit a lot harder.
Mm-hmm.
The biters aren't gonna stagger when coming to your walls anymore.
Yeah, exactly. So definitely things to keep in mind. Like, I don't think it's going to make things super, like, any way harder, this thing, but it's just something to keep in mind that they will kind of start coming after you a little quicker. Um, Second to last section, basically one of the devs, Tugas, um, is resigning, unfortunately. To summarize this, it's not anything bad between like him or the team. In fact, he goes into detail. It's been an honor to be part of this awesome project and to leave my imprint on it and working on a large and pretty well managed C++ code base full of things done just a bit different than I ever thought to has been mind opening. And he thanks the community for continual patience, honest feedback, and occasional bit of pressure that you put on us to make the game as good as it can be. So um, basically, he just finished the main project he had, which was working on the programmable map generator, and working remotely was really difficult. So changing to more of a local job, working in a cube farm, writing Android applications for treadmills, which should be interesting. I wish
Yeah.
them best of luck. And they will continue to read the Friday Facts, lurk on the forums, and probably update documentation here and there. Hopefully, I'll find time to crank out some terrain altering mods. Yes, please. I'd love some.
Yes.
Could definitely use some terrain altering stuff. And I'm looking forward to seeing what else y'all do with it. And then last, and certainly not least, is this thing.
This is crazy. Have you already seen this before?
I saw the original one that he made over a year ago, or 2 years ago.
Wow.
So over 100 Friday Facts ago, we covered Dave's 9x14 microfactory in Friday Facts 197. While it may have taken over 2 years, he has improved his design even further, and the result is just as impressive as before. So have you watched this?
I have. It blew my mind, and it took me reading, Reddit comments to even like really understand what was going on there. Because he is using some mods, right? He's using recursive blueprint to make
Yeah,
this all
and
possible.
and yeah, I think whatever this like the thing that displays the numbers at the top, that's a mod. Um, but even though like those are just mods that like it doesn't, I don't think it makes it cheating necessarily. It's just kind of required to make this even possible.
Yeah.
But within that, he's doing all this like vanilla combinators and stuff. So basically, guys, I'm not gonna watch the whole video because it's like 3.5 minutes. But basically, or actually, can I? Does it just start over? What this does is in this tiny little 9x14 tile area, he makes an entire rocket from very start of a factory to the very end by having crazy smarts and combinators and robots and chests full of stuff here that will um, like make things, put them in the chest. The bots will tear up the machines, place new machines to move on to the next step, and take the things that were just made and make the next thing and next thing. As you can basically see here, you guys can watch the whole video. I will watch to the rocket because we're almost there. But now everything to make a rocket from the very start has been made in this tiny little area just by simply picking up and taking things down. And this looks like this happened in, what was it, 28 minutes? 28 hours? Or I don't even know what this time.
I'm assuming that the thing at the top is the time, right? So is that 62 minutes?
I feel like this is hours, right? Yeah, because before, when it's not sped up, the far right one was ticking away at about a second.
Okay.
So then the next two would be minute, and then the next would be hours. I think.
That is real crazy.
I mean, that makes sense in this tiny space, right? There's no way it would only take 60 minutes to launch a rocket.
Yeah, I don't know if this is like fully launching a rocket. Is that what this does here? This particular video that they've linked?
Yeah.
Okay, I guess I'm getting to the end and I'm not seeing like an actual rocket launch.
Go to like 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Oh, okay. Wow. So what's happening there afterwards then, where he's going and doing?
I don't know if it's just starting
process.
over again. I'm not sure, but see how when it's slowed down, it's ticking
Wow,
by
yeah.
at like a 1 second rate.
Yeah, that
The
makes
timer.
sense.
So I'm not sure why. Maybe it just starts over. It looks like it's just starting all over again. I think so. Yeah, because this is like what we started with. So either way, this is insanely impressive. Dave has done some crazy. He did. I don't know if you've seen it. He did the Dorad sandstorm.
Yeah.
Have you seen this where he made a Factorio thing of that with like the song playing in the background and with lights and combinators. Literally, the entire music video, like what you would watch on the actual music video, was displayed in Factorio as the song played.
Oh my gosh.
It
That's
was
insane.
insane.
It's like those challenges where people try to make any sort of electronic run the game Doom, right? They're
Yeah,
just like, oh, it's got a screen. I'm gonna make it play Doom.
right, exactly. So This is insane. I think he's done a few mods too. He may have actually been the one that made recursive blueprints. But anyway, super cool. I love these community spotlights. And yeah, I think that's gonna do it. You have any other thoughts?
I think I need to work on my blueprints a little bit more. Seeing this, I don't know if I could get something in a 13 by 9 square, but now I'm inspired. Gotta do
Yes,
something greater.
you can do it. Do a 8 by 13 square.
Oh my gosh. I don't know. I feel like this guy's got it like nailed down to the absolute minimum space you could do this in. After
Yeah.
working on it for 2 years on top of his original design, like wow.
Yeah, I think so too. But yeah, that's gonna do it, guys. Cool stuff. Pathfinding always good. And that may actually help performance in the game too when there's a ton of biters trying to pathfind. But anyway, that's gonna do it. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Leave your thoughts below and on Reddit and the forums. And until next time, we will see you later.
Catch you later.